All right, let's dive into a technology that basically fixed one of the most annoying parts of using any app, that endless spinning loading screen. We're going to see how developers went from needing 47 separate requests to a server for data, all the way down to just one. Let's get right into it.
So, where does a story like this even begin? Well, it all starts with a question born out of just pure frustration that developers at Facebook were asking back in 2012. Their mobile app was getting more and more complex, and they just kept wondering, why on earth do I need so many API calls just to show one simple page? And that one question, it sparked a complete revolution in how we think about data. To really get this, you have to put yourself in the user's shoes. You tap on a friend's profile in your favorite social media app. You expect it to just pop right up, instantly, right? But behind the scenes, a total nightmare is unfolding for your phone and, your data plan. And this timeline, man, it really breaks down that painful waiting game. At just half a second in, there it is, the dreaded spinner. A second later, maybe the user's posts show up, but the comments, still loading. By the time everything finally gets on the screen 2.5 seconds later, a whopping 30% of users have already given up. They're gone. And for any app, that is a complete disaster.
So, what are the actual technical villains causing all this chaos? Well, they've got two names, overfetching and underfetching. Overfetching is when your app asks for some user info, and the server sends back like 20 different things, when all your app really needed was a name and a profile pic. It's just a huge waste of data. And then you've got underfetching, which is the exact opposite problem. Your app gets a list of posts, but oops, the author's name isn't in there. So it has to make a whole new trip back to the server just to ask for that information for every single post.
Okay, I know all this fetching and refetching can sound a bit technical, so let's use a super simple analogy that makes it all perfectly clear. Just imagine you're at a restaurant. So think about the old way, a traditional REST API. That's like going to a restaurant with only a set menu. You have to order meal number 3. It comes with a burger, fries, a side salad you didn't ask for, and a soda you don't even want. You get the whole shebang, whether you like it or not. That's overfetching. GraphQL, on the other hand, well, GraphQL is the buffet. You grab your plate, you walk down the line, and you build your perfect meal with exactly what you want. A little bit of this, some of that. No waste, total control, and you get it all in one single trip. So this table really just puts it all side by side. With the old REST approach, you've got tons of different places to go. One for users, one for posts, another for comments. With GraphQL, there's just one spot, the buffet line. REST gives you clunky, fixed data, which leads to waste and multiple trips. GraphQL gives you exactly what you ask for, all in one shot. That's the game changer.
All right, so we've set the scene, we know the problem, and now the hero of our story arrives on the scene. This is the GraphQL approach, and it was designed from day one to be the buffet, not the set menu. And this right here, this is your order slip for the buffet. This is a GraphQL query. Look how it's structured to ask for exactly what you need and nothing more. You're basically telling the server, hey, I want the user, but only give me their name and avatar. And for that user, get me their posts, but I only need the title. And for those posts, give me the comments. And for each comment, I just need the author's name. It's just one super precise request that perfectly mirrors what the page needs to show. One trip, zero waste. But it gets even better. This whole approach also solves another massive performance killer, something that developers absolutely dread. It's a classic issue known as the N+1 problem. Okay, so here's how this nightmare works. Your app makes one single query to get, let's say, 100 posts. That's the one. But wait, the author's name wasn't included. So now your app has to make a separate query for the author of each of those 100 posts. That's the N. So to get 100 posts and their authors, your database just got hit 101 times. It's just so incredibly inefficient. It will absolutely crush your performance. But the GraphQL world has this incredibly clever solution for it, called DataLoader. Think of it like a really smart personal assistant. It sees all those separate requests for author names coming in, and instead of running to the database 100 different times, it bundles them all together into one single efficient trip. So what was 101 database queries now becomes just 2. I mean, the performance gain is just astronomical.
Okay, so we've gotten into the technical weeds a bit, the how of it all. But what about the so what, right? What does this actually mean in the real world for businesses and for the people building this stuff?
Check this out. For mobile apps, the impact is just staggering. We're talking a 90% reduction in API calls. What that really means is faster load times, a much smoother user experience, happier users, and for companies, a massive drop in data and bandwidth costs. It's a huge win all around.
And it's not just about the app being faster for the user, it's about building things faster too. Because front-end developers can ask for exactly the data they need without having to wait around for the back-end team to build a new endpoint for them. Development cycles can be up to 3 times faster. That's according to a study by Apollo, who are a major player in this space.
And believe me, developers are paying attention. The 2023 Stack Overflow survey showed that nearly a third of professional developers are now using GraphQL. This isn't some niche experimental tech anymore. It's a core part of the modern developer's toolkit. And just look at who's on board. We're not talking about small startups here. We're talking about Meta, where it was born, GitHub, which runs its entire public API on it, Shopify, Airbnb, Netflix. These are the giants. They handle insane complexity and scale, and they have all chosen GraphQL to power their applications.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground, from a frustrating loading screen all the way to how the biggest companies in tech are building their apps. So what's the one big idea you should walk away with?
Because at the end of the day, the real magic here isn't just about efficiency or saving money, it's about possibility. By completely removing those old rigid limitations, GraphQL opens up a whole new way of thinking. So I'll just leave you with this question. If you could build an application and ask for data in the most natural, precise way you could possibly imagine, what entirely new kinds of experiences could you create?